everyone, it's Jaden and welcome back to another Coffee and Create. Today I have Starbucks because I had a gift card and I'm drinking a caramel macchiato because I decided to switch it up, and this is actually quite good. Today's Coffee and Create is going to be a little bit of a sketch with me, if you will. So I have two separate drawings I'd like to go ahead and get sketched out, and I thought I'd let you guys come along with me. One of them I had actually already done on a canvas panel, and then I decided it would look better on, or the piece would look better if it was done in watercolor, so I've already started redoing it over here, and then I'm going to erase everything off of this canvas panel, and I'm going to sketch out another painting idea that I had. So come along with me and do that. But like I said, let's finish the sketch first, erase all of this, and do the other painting. So let's go. Alright everyone, so now we are starting off the video with me doing some real-time sketching for the watercolor piece. Actually, most of this video is me working in real time as opposed to a time lapse, just because I don't know, I just wanted to do it that way, and also you guys can see how long it might take me to sketch something out. Now this first piece is going to be for a musical make, and the piece is inspired by Metallica's Enter Sandman. Enter Sandman is one of my favorite Metallica songs, and I don't care if that is like such a basic answer. The song is just too good. And so I wanted to do a piece that kind of gets the feeling of the song, or like the meaning of the song, you know, just a way of visualizing that, I guess you could say. So the drawing is of a kid just kind of scared in bed, you know, clutching their teddy bear with some kind of shadowy ghost or figure or something behind them, reaching for them. I remember when I was working on this, actually, my grandmother ended up coming over and she looked at the drawing and she's like, "Oh, that's cute." And I was like, "Did you even see what I was working on? It's not supposed to be cute. He's supposed to look scared." Which I hope that I was able to get that look across on this little kid. Now, right now, as you can see, I am sketching out the monster, ghost, whatever it is that's supposed to be reaching for the kid, or how I want to interpret, I guess, Sandman, if you will. And I actually really struggled with like getting a pose that I liked. I actually ended up taking a picture of myself for this, like with like my hands, just trying to get that all right. I'm still not 100% sure what I want like this figure to look like in the end. I kind of like the idea of it being like kind of like a shadowy figure that's kind of like blends in with the darkness, but still just something is a little bit off of it, or something is a little bit off about it. You can see like later on in the sketch for the face of the figure, I give it like eyes and a mouth, and then I kind of like scribble it out because I absolutely hated it. You know, I just wasn't a fan of how that looked, so I don't think I'd make that a feature in the final piece, though it would kind of help with giving the kind of creepy, spooky kind of look, especially if it had like a wide grin and something like that. See, here it is right now. I'm just doing some circular or kind of oval shaped eyes, and then I just do this really silly looking mouth, and then I just scribble it out because I was like, what am I doing, Jaden? That looks so bad. And here I am erasing it. So that's something I'll still have to figure out for the final piece, but it's not like the biggest priority. I care more about just getting the figure in there, as well as the look on the kid's face being more important than the look on the figure's face. But yeah, I'm continuing to just sketch out the figure, just trying to get the shape of its head and stuff like that, before I end up moving on to adding a very important piece to the wall that is kind of on the opposite side of the figure, and here it is right now. I was going to add a Metallica poster of the Black Album, which is the album that Enter Sandman is on. I thought that this would be a good way of hinting at like the song that and like the group that this piece is based off of, without just putting like Metallica Enter Sandman like on top of it. I thought it was just more of a semi-subtle way of including, the original or the artist in the song that inspired me to make this piece. I actually don't think I got, the drawing right for the poster, just because it's slanted, and I don't think I made it like the poster go in like the correct direction, if that makes sense. Like, I guess the perspective, that's the word I was looking for. I'm pretty sure the perspective is not 100% correct, so I'll have to go back and kind of look at it and, see what I can do to try to fix that up a little bit, just to get it to look, correct. If you're curious about what pencil I'm using to sketch this out, I'm using a purple kohl erase pencil. This is probably my favorite kohl erase pencil out of the ones I have. I have the red ones. I also have like a pink one, and I really love using them. I'd originally gotten them from, like Blick, like the art materials, and the last time I looked, they didn't have any of like the purple ones where you could buy them individually, which made me really sad because I really like the purple ones. I have three other purple pencils that haven't been sharpened yet, so at least I have a couple more that I'll be able to use before I run out. And I also have two other ones, but they're like incredibly tiny. Like, I can barely hold them anymore, but I'm still trying to get as much use out of them as I can. Like, I'm determined to use them to like till the very end, just because I love these pencils so much. The only thing I've realized is, like, when you use these ones, especially like the purple one, if you like draw something and say you go back to it maybe like a couple of days later and say you want to fix it or something, it's super difficult to erase. It's almost like it's just kind of staying there and not really wanting to go away, which can be a little bit annoying, but I still love the pencils. They're my absolute favorite. I just love them so much. And now that I have finished expressing my love of purple kohl erase pencils, I'm adding the final touches for this sketch before going to the next part. Alrighty, so here's the blank or semi-blank canvas panel. You can really still see, where my sketch was, but this is as best as I can erase it, and plus I'll be going over it with this red kohl erase pencil, so that's fine. But anyways, here is the next piece that will be going on top of his canvas panel. I call it, Muse's Revenge. So this is inspired by a piece by Ilya Milstein, I believe. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. But they did a piece called The Muse's Revenge, and I really liked it. So I want to kind of take that idea of, a muse getting revenge on the artist who, inspires them, or whatever you will, And so this is going to be my interpretation. She's going to be kind of towering over him, with him, like the artist, on the floor. I actually took a picture of myself as a reference for this. I also took a picture of myself as a reference for this, like the kid, like all curled up in bed. I took a picture of myself for that. I think I need to fix this arm now that I'm looking at it, but I'll go back and do that later. But anyways, here is the little sketch. She's going to be in the artist's studio. I need to make it look more like maybe like a fight happens, specifically in like the background, like having some of the supplies maybe look knocked over. But main focus is her towering over him, as well as like the different pieces in the background. They're a little, since this is like a quick sketch, obviously they're not great, but they're supposed to be, I don't know if this is something that I could include on YouTube, but like nude, paintings of her, and I think you know, maybe she was taken advantage of or something like that. Could kind of be the story that goes along with it. And yeah, but this is the piece. And now I'm going to need to sketch that on here. Hopefully, like, I can make this, or through the sketch I'm able to make like her taller and then have it look more like he's on the ground and stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. And here is, for anybody curious, you can see all my other sketches, or it's my designing sketchbook. Here's the sketch I did for the Enter Sandman themed painting, or it's going to be a watercolor now. It's very rough, like all of my sketches, especially like this, like what is that? Or these little ones, oh, they're so funny. But here it is, if you guys want to see it. I think I'd like to make a video like of me just designing different little things with you guys, because I think that'd be a lot of fun, you know. Okay, so now that that little detour is over of me talking about, you know, erasing the canvas panel and then showing you guys the little sketches I did, I'm now getting to work on this piece. Now this one, like I said, it's going to be done on the canvas panel. It's going to be done in acrylic paint. Right now I'm working on the artist who is now on the floor. You'll see at one point, I think later on, that I actually, in order to get his features right, I like totally like turned the canvas just so I don't have to try to like guess, because when you look at stuff like that, it can be like incredibly wonky. Like when you try drawing it from one angle and then you look at it the other way and you're like, wow, that looks really bad. Because when I did the first sketch for this guy, I actually had to re-erase it and then restart it all. But like the eyes were like totally like not even or lined up really well, and it looked real rough. So I had to go back and do all of that. Right now I'm doing his body and all that stuff. I found the picture for the guy. I believe it was just like a random stock photo, which if I can't, like, I like to use like the random stock photos for my references, and then if I need a very specific pose or I can't find one that I like, I end up taking the picture like of myself just to get it, you know, the perfect pose that I want. You know, that's why I did that with like the little kid one for the Enter Sandman one, because I wanted to show like somebody like clutching the teddy bear and stuff like that. So I had to, you know, set up my little tripod thing and take a picture of myself doing that. But hey, it works, and it's so much easier than like going through who knows how many pictures trying to find the perfect reference only to just not find the perfect one. So yeah, that's become like my new favorite thing now, is taking reference pictures like of myself for like poses. I used to never do that, but now that I have like a way that I can set up my phone and stuff, I do it all the time now, and I love it. And like I said, it's such a great way to get very specific poses. I've seen a lot of other artists do this as well. I remember seeing an animator, I believe, who worked on the Across the Spider-Verse movie, do the I believe it's the scene where Gwen comes over to Miles' room, and you know, the animator did the scene of like Miles like awkward little like slide across like his desk, like trying to, I believe he was trying to hide a sketchbook from Gwen. I'm not 100% sure on the like exact details, but the artist like filmed himself doing that and then drew over top of it, which is really cool, and also just a great way to get the poses, you know, exactly the way that you want them to be. As you can see right now, I am drawing the man. You know, as you can see, I've flipped the canvas just so I can get the features and everything lined up all nice and correct, just so it doesn't look incredibly wonky. I realized after I had finished this sketch, and you know, I was looking back over it, not on camera, that I totally did not do like the blood coming out of his mouth right. Like it would not be going at that angle. But don't worry, I've fixed it. I've also cleaned up the sketch a little bit more since I finished filming, and everything's kind of to the way that I wanted. I believe I mentioned it at the end of this video that I, you know, decided off camera to add in like some of the details of the background and of the paintings on the wall and all that jazz. And I did end up doing that after I finished recording all of the videos. I did it like late the night before, so late last night, which was at the time of me filming this, it was July 30th. So July 30th. Who knows when this video will come out? I'm trying to get more videos like recorded so that I can just have some to post when I don't really have to worry about, scrambling to get a video together, because that way I'd already have some done and finished, to be uploaded, as opposed to, like I said, scrambling to get one done and then editing it, doing a voiceover and all of that jazz. Instead I would just have the videos ready to go. I plan on doing some more studio vlogs, of course. I'm working on doing a lot of stuff for the upcoming markets that I have. One is on September 23rd. It is the New Market Fall Festival. And then the other one is the first Saturday of October, which I'm not 100% sure what the date is at the moment, but I'll include it, when I'm editing. But it's a date and days, and I will be doing that as well. I'm really excited to be doing markets and stuff like that because I just think that they're a lot of fun. I like doing stuff in person. Hopefully I'll be able to do a bit more. There was some that happened in like December locally, and I've been looking and they haven't released any like the applications yet. But once the time comes for that, I will definitely be signing up for those. Right now, one of the things I'm working on preparing for the markets is getting stuff cut out. I've mentioned it before, but I absolutely do not like cutting stuff out. So I've made like a big long list of everything that I'd like to get done. A lot of it is kind of more fall and like wintry themed things, just because that's what's coming up now. And I also like adore doing that kind of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of it. So I'm working on getting all of this stuff cut out. Like I said, I made like a long list of everything that I need to get cut out and I'm just marking it off as I go. I know that's something I plan on doing today after I'm finished, doing the voiceover for this video, because I need to get to work. I mean, tomorrow is August 1st, and it's just going to be creeping closer and closer every single day, so I'm gonna have so much stuff to work on. Also, once it's August, it's also my birthday month. My birthday is on August 20th, and I'll be turning 20, which is absolutely crazy to think about. I can't believe I'm going to be 20. That's insane. But besides working on all of the stuff that I need to get done for those festivals, which I'm also really excited about working on that stuff, because I'd like to introduce a few newer things. Like I'd like to try making some garlands and stuff like that, because I have some of that twine or I believe that's what it's called, and I'd like to, just kind of get it out of the way, and I think garlands would be something really cute to make. Anyways, besides the stuff that I need to get done for these festivals, I also have the pieces that I need to get done for my portfolio. This is another piece that I could use for my portfolio. Right now I'm continuing to sketch out the very beautiful Muse, who is now towering over him. This is my second time drawing her on this canvas panel, because the first time I drew her too large, so you wouldn't be able to see her legs and stuff like that, and I knew I had to immediately fix that, so I made her a bit smaller now, so you'd be able to get her full figure in there, of course, which is very important because I want it to seem like she is towering over him. Right now I'm sketching out her legs. This was a bit of an issue I had, just trying to get them to not look strange, I guess you could say. Some of it just was a little bit odd, I guess it's just the positioning. I think I made them look a bit too long, but I ended up going back in and fixing that too, so you don't have to worry about all of that. But yeah, you don't have to worry about her really long legs, because I ended up kind of fixing that. Anyways, I like how she came out, at least in the sketch. I think I like her pose and stuff like that. It's just kind of like the arms crossed kind of thing. But right now I'm working on the background. Right now I'm doing where the walls meet. And then once I finish doing that, I'll like sketch in the window and all of that jazz. I really need to use a ruler when I sketch out this kind of stuff, but I never do. Just because I've mentioned it before, but I hate using a ruler. I just don't like doing it. And I was just like, well, I'll just kind of guess and hopefully it'll come out kind of right. But right now I'm sketching in the window. I'm doing kind of a cityscape in the back. Trying to get like a skyscraper skyline, if you will. I'm trying to go for New York City. So, but really it's just skyscrapers. It could literally be anywhere in the world, really. But, whatever works. You'll see that once I finish doing the sketch for the window and stuff, that the next thing I end up doing is including in a little bookshelf, which is going to hold all of the artist's supplies. One thing that I ended up adding in the background that I did not include in this video, it's something that I ended up doing when I was cleaning up the sketch after I finished recording. And one of that is kind of like stacks of like canvases, kind of like leaning against the wall, like just behind her leg on the left side. I ended up adding that in just to give, a bit more stuff happening in the background, and also to show a bit more paintings of, the artist using her as his muse. I also ended up adding a bit more things on the bookshelf as well. I still need to make it look more like a bit of a fight has happened. I tried showing that through the thing of, the like little holder of like paintbrushes being knocked over, as well as some paint and having that dripping out. But maybe I could look like it, maybe she tore one of the pieces off the wall, or maybe ripped a canvas or something like that. That would also kind of help showing, some sort of fight that had happened between the two of them. Right now, I am just sketching in the pieces behind her, just kind of look like they were taped to the wall, or, something like that, or just hung up there. I like doing these tiny little, like, paintings. I think they're going to be a bit fun to paint, just because it's like doing the little paintings inside of a painting. It's just, an extra little detail that would be included. I ended up cleaning up these sketches, after I finished recording. That was another thing I did, just because I wanted to make sure I got the figure right and all of that. Right now I'm adding in an easel, which I'm not 100% sure if like the perspective on this is correct. I'm gonna have to look at it again. But like I said, adding in a standing easel that is holding a canvas with a painting of the girl on it, or there will be a painting of the girl on it. And yeah, I really like this concept, like I mentioned before when talking about the original piece that inspired me by Ilya Milstein, I believe. I hope I'm getting their name right. But yeah, the idea of like the muse getting revenge on the artist, I think it's just super interesting. And I hope that is something that I'm able to get across with this piece. One of my things that I try to do with the pieces that I make is to tell a story, which is why I like to include a lot of different details and stuff like that. Because like I said, I want to try to get a story across. Like, for example, this is, a piece where it's telling a story, essentially, of, what has happened between the two people. Alright, everyone, I'm standing up to show this, but here is pretty much the finished sketch for this painting. I need to add some more details and clean some stuff up, but that is pretty much it. I know I didn't really do much in this video besides sketch out 2 pieces, but I hope you guys enjoyed it and hearing me blab and talk about the pieces a little bit, as well as see me sketch and struggle to make things look slightly, neat in terms of, having the sketch look the way I want. I know I need to fix, I think I made her head too big, so I think I'm gonna have to fix that, but, and then like I said, add in the other details, but other than that, I don't think it's too bad. And yeah. Alright, so I'd like to thank you guys for watching this coffee and create. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have an amazing day, and yeah, bye.